Shalom, shalom, Israel. This is your brother Gad from the WFI Bay Area Camp, coming at you with another lesson. And I want to start off by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Wamalak, Yahweh Shai, worthy of all praises. And I want to give another shalom to all the mighty Akims and all the mighty Akwats that are in this truth, that are sincere, that are doing all they can in the last days to magnify the Most High's name. I want to give another strong shalom to all the mighty teenagers and all the mighty children that are in this truth, that are abstaining from all appearance of evil, that are holding their integrity, avoiding all the peer pressure and all the lust in this world, right? And the title of this lesson is going to be called "Don't Get Involved," right? Is going to be called "Don't Get Involved," right? And why is it called that is because, right, the date today is May 31st, right? So June is approaching, and which means it's damn near summer, right? I'm over here in Northern California, and it's already hitting the 90s out here, right? Well, actually, today is going to hit 102, right? I'm over here in Northern California. It's going to hit 102 out here, right? You might be in different other areas and, all these things, but summer is here. Summer is pretty much here, right? And I'm titling this "Don't Get Involved" because there's going to be a lot of lust going on this summer, right? It's going to be a lot of people falling out. It's going to be a lot of peer pressure. It's going to be a lot of lust and temptation out here. And as all these things go on in the world, we can't get involved, right? Us as the Hebrew Israelites, we can't get involved, right? We have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to move out the way, and don't get involved, right? We see things that's going on, and we have to know that time is short, right? All hell could break loose this summer. All hell can literally break loose this summer. It's a lot going on in the world. A lot of things are happening overseas that nobody is talking about. A lot of things are happening in the industry. A lot of things are, everything is at an all-time high. Everything is at an all-time high, and we can't get involved. Right, and there's going to be a lot of spirits out here. There's a lot of spirits that come out during the summer, right? A lot of people start getting proud. They start getting bold, right? It's that I don't give a damn spirit, right? You got women talking about it's going to be a hot girl summer, right? A lot of spirits are coming out, right? Us men, we can't get tempted, you women in this truth, you can't get tempted. You're gonna see women out here, showing their bodies off, right? Women out here getting all this attention from other men for their lewdness and for their wickedness, right? You're gonna have a lot of men out here doing lewd things and wicked things, and we can't get involved, right? Let me kick it off with the book of 1 Samuel. Let's go to 1 Samuel, chapter. It's like 2 Samuel. Get the book of 2 Samuel. Right? We can't get involved, right? Summer is here, right? This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 11 and verse 1. And it reads, "And it came to pass after the year was expired, at the time when kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab and his servants with him and all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah. But David tarried still at Jerusalem." Right now, the point is, it says, at the time when kings go forth to battle, right? Summertime is a high time when wars break out. Summertime is a high time, even in the ancient world, when a lot of things happen around the summertime. To some people it might be warm, it might be hot. So you can do a lot. You can get a lot done, and you can go and, take places over during the summer. Right? If I'm not mistaken, I believe I believe around 70 AD. I believe 70 AD It was around summer. It was around summer when they besieged Jerusalem. Right? I believe it was around August or something like that. You know? So these things happen, right? Which means on a spiritual level, people get taken over during the summer, right? It's sifting season. And you might say, oh, y'all always say it's sifting season. Y'all say that all year. Well, it is sifting season all year. You could get sifted out of this truth at any time. It's not the simple fact that you just get sifted out. It's just, okay, it's only summer you could get sifted out. But during the winter, you good. No one falls out during the winter. No, it's sifting season all year. It's temptation going on all year. These demons are working 24/7. Right? These demons are working 24/7. So we have to always, like they say in the world, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Right? This is a warning. Right? This is a warning to not get involved. Right? Because you get involved, if you get involved, you can fall out this truth. So we can't get involved. Right? Let's get another scripture. Right, let's go to Proverbs. You can't get involved. If you get involved, you can fall out the truth. If you've been in this truth long enough, you've seen it. You've seen it. People fall out this truth all the time. And a lot of the reasons why that people don't talk about is because they get involved. They get involved with what everybody else is doing. They want to get involved in all these events. You got Rolling Loud, right? You got all these parties going on, right? So while everybody outside partying and turning up, you at home reading. You at home reading, you on social media scrolling. Everybody look like they're having so much fun. And then you start to question yourself, what are you doing? Because you want to get involved. And you got to fight those spirits. You got to say, hey, I can't get involved in that. I'm not getting involved in that folly and that wickedness, right? This book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 10. It reads, my son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. So people are gonna entice you this summer, right? Right? Brothers, it's gonna be a lot of wicked women trying to entice you, right? There's gonna be a lot of wicked women trying to entice you. They might be handing out flyers or posting flyers saying, I'm throwing a party tonight. You should come by. What they say is it's gonna be lit. The party gonna be lit. You should come by. Right? And that, hey, nobody's in the truth that's gonna be there. It's only gonna be worldly people there. Right? And you can't get enticed. Right? And she might have her body out while she's telling you that. And she might be with two of her friends. And guess what? Hey, you might have to tell her to her face. Say, hey, I can't get involved. Or you kind of take the flyer, kind of just walk away, and then throw it away or something. Or you just act like you don't hear. You just keep walking, act like you don't hear. Just like they do us at camp. You got a minute to hear the words of the Lord. You got a minute to find out your God-given nationality. And what they do, they ignore us. We gotta be like them on the right-hand side, because this is what they do on the left-hand side. So on the right-hand side, because when righteousness approaches them, they tell themselves, don't get involved. That's what they tell themselves. Don't get involved. We got the Bible open, preaching the word. Hey, guess what? Hey, they're not getting involved. They're like, I'm not listening to that. I'm not stopping for 2 minutes to hear about Moses. Right? So we gotta be like that. We gotta walk right past them. And we gotta tell ourselves, don't get involved. We gotta tell ourselves, I'm not getting involved. Right? Because you get involved and you go to that party, and that might be your last day in the truth. All hell might break loose. Somebody might lace you with something. You might get jumped, beat up. And it's like, who's gonna feel bad for you? See, if you get involved, no one's gonna feel bad for you. Right? Let me get another precept. Right, let me get another precept in the apocrypha. So like my apocrypha all beat up. right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and verse 13. It says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? You see, so if you go, so, you know, if you're playing with a snake and a snake bites you, if you're playing with a big old snake, everybody's watching you, and the snake bites you, who's going to feel bad for you? Or if the snake wraps his neck around, wraps his body around your neck, who's going to feel bad for you? Right? So if you get involved this summer, who's going to feel bad for you? You know, you hear about a brother that went to a worldly party. He was the only one in the truth that was there, and he got laced with something. And when they laced him, they did God knows what to him. Who's gonna feel bad for that brother? We're gonna be looking like, what was he doing there? It's gonna be a lot of questions. We're gonna have a lot of questions. What was he doing there? How did he get there? You know? So let me read that again. Let me read 14 again. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? So no one's not going to pity you, right? If you get involved this summer, right? You women too, you sisters in this truth too. No one's going to pity you if you get involved this summer and something happens, right? Because when it comes to the man, you know, he's not getting shown no mercy, you know. When it comes to the women, you know, they want to show a little more mercy, but there's no respect as a person with the Most High. If you get involved, this could be your last day in the truth, right? You could fall out the truth this summer. This could be your last summer in the truth. Imagine that. You've been in the truth 10 years, 7 years, 3 years, and then you fall out this summer, right? Let's get another precept. Let's go to 1 John. Let's go to St. John. Go to St. John chapter. Let me get chapter 15. Let me get 15, and we're gonna get verse 16. Is that what I want? Yeah, It says, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it. He may give it you. Right. And this is a time too where a lot of fruit starts to show. Around the summertime is when a lot of fruit starts to show. And what does the Lord say? Right? Because this is right. Because don't get it right. What are we going into right now? Don't get involved. This is physical, but it's also spiritual. Remember, everything is double to that which is. So around the summer is when a lot of times that fruit starts to show. You know? And remember, the Lord said, ye shall know them by their fruits. So you got to see, what fruit are you going to bring forth this summer? What fruit are you going to show this summer? Right? Is your fruit going to be, is it going to be moldy? Is it going to be all dried up? Or is you're going to be that tree this summer that it's summer and there's no fruit on, it's only leaves. Right? Right? Reading on, it says, these things I command you, that ye love one another. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. Right? And so you got to remember that too. Right? The world hates you. Don't get enticed by the smiles on people's faces. Right? By, you know, them inviting you somewhere. The world hates you. You know? You got to know that. So what do you look like getting involved with people that hate you? I mean, you wouldn't dare do that in the world. So even in this truth, right? People hate you. They might not tell you to your face, but you got to know that, you know, hey, people hate you, right? This world hates you, right? It says, if you were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you. Right? Because we were chosen out of the world. So that's why we can't get involved, right? Because the world hates you. Right? Like I said, you might get invited somewhere. They might not know you're a Hebrew Israelite. You know, they might not know. And you kind of show up, and then they find out. Now it's an uproar. Now everybody's turning their hand. Now everybody's turning their hand against you. Now everybody's hand is against you, and your hand is against everybody else's. You know? So we don't want to gather with the wicked this summer. Right? We don't want to, you know, be out and about just trying to have a good summer. You know, when the feast days come around, hey, that's when we're going to have our good time. You know, you might be with your wife, might be family time. You know, those are the good times. The good times are not gathering with the wicked, right? You got the 4th of July coming up, right? You got a lot going on, and you don't want to get involved, right? You don't want to get involved for the 4th of July, right? Knowing what it, even knowing what it means. Like how foolish would you look if you celebrating the 4th of July and something bad happens and you're on the news? And the Most High will the Most High will turn you into a laughing stock. We done seen it plenty of times in this truth. He will embarrass you in front of the whole congregation. Right? Let's get another precept. Let me see. Let's get another precept. Let's get 1 Corinthians. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 10 in verse number 21. It says, ye cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils. You cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils. Right? So what they say in the world, you want your cake and you want to eat it too. Hey, the Most High is not dealing with that. You know, you can't be trying to eat at the table of the Lord. You know, here you is, all right, you at a feast day, when the sun goes down, the feast day is over with. So when the sun goes down and the feast day is over with, you jump in the car and go to a worldly after party. That's wicked. You just celebrated the feast day, and then when everybody goes home, you don't go home. You go to a party. You go to a party a city or two away. Where everybody where women are getting drunk and they ain't got no clothes on, and men are lusting, you know, trying to see how they gonna get their rocks off by the night. You know, that's wicked. You can't be dibbling dabbling in both. You know, you got to choose. You either with the Lord or you with the world. You either with the Lord, you either eating at the Lord's table or you eating at the table of devils. Right? Again, don't get involved. Right? Do not get involved. Right? This is a lesson, but it's also a warning. Right? Sometimes our people need to hear that. They need a refresher, or they need a warning. You know, because summer's about to be here. Right? It's going to be a lot of peer pressure out here. There's going to be a lot of peer pressure, a lot of enticing. Right? You get Proverbs 8 and 13. It says, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate. Right? So you got to hate what's going on this summer. All the festivities, all the activities. Right? You got to hate these things. Right? You have to understand that we got to get the hell out of here. Right? That's the mission. Hey, all summer while we at camp, we hoping that we wake up the elect. All year we hope that we wake up the elect, that we can get out of here. You know, we know we close. But the Lord said you got to hate evil. And around the summertime is when the most evil is shown on a large scale. Now it happens during the winter, but remember, the winter is a time period of darkness. A lot of things being done in the dark, right? But the summer in a sense represent light, when everything is showing. Remember, the days are longer, right? It don't get dark now till damn 9:30, almost. It's almost 10 at night, and the sun just now going down. It's like, damn. And then in the winter, remember, it gets dark at like 5:30, damn near 5. Everybody's hiding out in the winter. It gets dark earlier, so the night is longer. But during the summer, everybody's popping out. It's hot, it's warm outside. And these demons start jumping on people, right? And you gotta hate evil. If you're easily enticed, clean up your social media. You following worldly people, you see them at raves. It's a lot of raves going on. You see them at raves, you see them at Rolling Loud. If you gotta unfollow those people, unfollow those people. Don't get involved, right? And you brothers, you following women that's showing their body. They out at pool parties, ain't got no clothes on. You gotta unfollow them, or you're gonna get enticed, or you might start second guessing this truth. You might just say, "Oh, it's just a party. It's not that bad. It's just a pool party. It's summertime. It's just a pool party." But everybody there is in the world, and everybody taking shots, and bringing the bottles out, and popping pills, and playing lewd music. Right? That's off. It says, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy. And it's a lot of pride going on. It's a lot of pride this summer. Like I said, summer is when you witness the most pride. It's a lot of pride. You can't get enticed. It's a lot going on right now. You can't get enticed. Summer come, people start showing their true colors. I remember even in the world, a woman will get into relationships when it's cold, when everybody's in the house. And then summer comes out, everybody starts breaking up. Everybody starts showing their true colors. They just wanted to be with that person for the winter, for a season. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all always see that. Winter comes, what they say, it's cuddle season. That's when everybody gets somebody that you like, and spend winter with them. But when summer is here, it's a hot girl summer. I'm gonna just focus on myself. When it's summer, everybody want to focus on themselves and do their own thing. So it's a lot of pride. People start showing their true colors. Right? Let's get another precept. And remember, we can't get involved. We can't get involved. We gotta gird up our loins. Meditate on these precepts. Meditate on the word. Meditate on the end times. You gotta remember these are the last days. You can't think. Oh, we got 25 more summers. I'll be on fire. I'll be on fire next summer. This summer, I think I wanna loosen up a little bit. Right? This is the book of Psalms 101 in verse 2. It says, "I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. Oh, when wilt thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart." So this summer, you gotta walk within. You gotta walk. You gotta walk with the perfect heart. Right? Let's not have no slip ups. Right? Let's not have no slip ups this summer. Let's not have no slip ups this summer. Let's not have You know, no pride this summer. Hey, let's stay in order. Let's stay in order, and let's be still. Let's be still for Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You know, cause he's watching us. He's watching our every move, right? He sees those text messages. You think because they're implanted on a phone that he can't see those text messages? You know, he sees your thoughts, right? It says, I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. I hate the work of them that turn aside. It shall not cleave to me. You see that? So you gotta, when you see these things happening, you can't say, damn, that looks so fun. You can't say, hey, you can't see wickedness going on and now you're getting juiced. You can't see wickedness going on and you licking your lips. You looking like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be there. This going down Saturday night after camp. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be there. You know, some people see wickedness and they start getting juiced. They start getting juiced. They start licking their lips. Their eyes get big. Hey, David said, I will set no wicked thing before mine eyes. So the more you hate these things, the easier it's gonna be. See, if you don't hate something, that it's gonna be hard to not get involved. If you hate something, you're not gonna get involved. You know, really think about something that you hate. You wouldn't dare get involved. You know, you wouldn't dare get involved because you hate it. So we gotta hate it. Because if you get involved, then I mean, it was something you liked. It was something you liked about it. And whatever you liked about it, it 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10, it wasn't good. You know? It says, right? David said, it shall not cleave unto me. Right? So because if you get involved, that means it cleaved unto you. Right? Almost like the Black Spider-Man. You know? Once that you know, the little black slime crawling around, and then once it get on you, once that little spot gets on you, it starts cleaving over your whole body. And it cleaves onto you. You know? So it only takes a little bit. It only takes a little bit. It says, a forward heart shall depart from me. I will not know a wicked person. That's a hard bar. David said, I will not know a wicked person. Right? We can't be knowing wicked people this summer. People giving out their numbers. People giving out their social medias. You just met this, sister just met this worldly dude this summer. And he trying to take her out. He trying to take her out on a date this summer. Hey, David said, I will not know a wicked person. You know, so when they come around us, hey, guess what? We don't know you. No, I'm not coming to that party. I don't know you. Hey, brothers, you gotta tell these worldly women out here. You know, cause you gotta tell these worldly women out here. No, I'm not coming to your house. I don't know you. And no, you can't come to my house. I don't know you. No, I can't give you a ride I can't give you a ride to that party. You know? Hey, this summer we gotta shut things down. We gotta shut things down, and hey, we gotta let these demons know we not playing. We not playing. You know? It's gonna be a lot of slicing and dicing this summer. Right? It's gonna be a lot of mighty camps. There's gonna be a lot of rebuking going on. Right? There's gonna be a lot of spirits. You know, they're gonna be trying to make they all summer, no matter where you at. You know, they're gonna try to make they head hard against your head. And you gotta make your head hard against their head. Like the Lord says in the book of Jeremiah. You know? Matter of fact, let me pull that. Let me pull that. We gotta stand on business. We gotta stand on business. Right? We gotta stand on business. We can't be letting nobody play with us. Right? This is the book of Jeremiah. Right? Chapter 1 and verse. Where I want to start. Come, let me get this one. Come, let me give Jeremiah 1:17. It says, "Thou therefore gird up thy loins, and arise, and speak unto them all that I command thee. Be not dismayed at their faces, lest I confound thee before them." Right. So if you scared, right? If you scared this summer to tell somebody no, if you scared to offend somebody, well, I gotta go to this party, or they gonna be mad at me. Hey, the Most High say he gonna confound you before them. Right? Meaning he gonna have you looking stupid. Right? That's what the Lord is saying. He gonna have you looking stupid before them. So we can't be afraid to you got a lot of people they're afraid to ruffle feathers. You can't be afraid to ruffle feathers. You got to stand on business, or the Lord gonna confound you. If you don't stand 10 toes down for the Lord, he gonna confound you, right? He don't want He don't want a brother that's soft around him, right? That can't tell nobody no, right? Salakia. Let me get Ezekiel. Chapter 3. Right, the Most High don't want nobody soft around him. Right, let's get Ezekiel 3:8. It says, "Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their foreheads, as an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house." Right? Hey, people start looking at you funny this summer. People start, hey, you gotta look right back at them like that. They look at you up and down like something wrong with you. Hey, you gotta look at them up and down like something wrong with them. You can't bend, you can't break, you can't fold. You can't fold. You gotta stand 10 toes down for the Lord. Right? Let's go to Revelation. Right? It's the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 11. It says, "Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown." So you have to hold fast what you have. You have to hold your integrity. You have to hold this truth. You have to hold the knowledge. You have to hold the promises. You might have been on a streak all year. It's like it. You may have been on a streak all year. You've been doing good all year. You've been doing the best you can. I'll say that. You've been doing the best you can, and you've been doing your thing this whole year. Don't let summer come around and now you start slipping and sliding. Don't let summer come around and your crown is hanging on by your ear. That's madness. Your crown is hanging on by your ear. Right? And we have to remember, the Lord said, "Behold, I come quickly." It's a lot going on that nobody's talking about. Right? I believe why everybody was celebrating Memorial Day weekend right? I believe Russia just launched the largest, one of the largest attacks on Ukraine since the war began, right? I forgot the number. I don't know if it was like 300 or something, but he sent a lot of drones. You know, he sent down a lot of drones. You know, you see him and Trump. You know, they damn near having arguments. They're going back to back. You know, Trump threatening Putin now. You know, because he don't want to sign the he don't want to do the ceasefire. The Lord turning things up. Hey, this summer could break. Hey, the draft could break out this summer. So when they start drafting people, you know, these things could happen. These things could happen this summer. Let me see if I could play this real quick. I want to play this thing real quick. Forgive me. Let me try to play this real quick. Let me try to play this. So I guess not though. Let me play this one. Hey, now imagine you getting involved this summer, right? Imagine you getting involved this summer and you doing wicked and lewd things and you just hear this noise out of nowhere. You had the damn biggest party of the summer, right? You turning up, right? Imagine that. Lord said, behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. Right? You got to stand. We got to stand 10 toes down. You can't let your crown get taken. Right? Remember, it's going to be a lot of lust this summer. It's going to be a lot of enticing. You know, it's going to be a lot of short tempers. You know, you can't fear. You can't be scared. You know, you can't get involved. You got to put your foot down. Right? Let's go into that word real quick too. Let's go into that word involved. Let me pull this up. You see that? The word involved. It says difficult to comprehend, complicated. It says a long, involved conversation. Right? You don't want to get involved. Right? I got some other words here. It says entangled. You see that? You don't want to get entangled this summer. Right? Get trapped. Right? Trapped. You don't want to get entangled. Right? You entangled. That means, hey, you damn near trapped. You got yourself into a trap. You see, and Satan sets up traps. You know, Satan sets up traps. Let me see. Right? It says being a part of something or associated with it. Right? Hey, and the Lord don't play that. Right? You know how Jake say in the world, oh, you riding with them, then you ducking with them. Hey, that's how the Lord move. That's how the Lord move. The Lord said, hey, if you're not with me, you against me. Right? That's Matthew 12 and 30. Let me pour that just for edification. Right? Matthew 12 and 30. The Lord said, if you're not with me, you're against me. Right? How you say you with me, but you riding around? How you say you with me, but you riding around with demons? Right? The demons are our ops. Right? We're against the demons. Why are you riding around with the demons? Right? Matthew 12 and 30. He that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad. You see that? Let me read that again. Let me read this thing again. Involved. Being a part of something or associated with it. It says, if you volunteer on a team to clean up the playground, you're involved in making it a faster and more fun place for kids to play. You see that? So if you're involved in wickedness, you just prolonging our days here, right? You making it a slower process. Now the Lord got to get you out of here. Now the Lord, got to get you out of here and bring the next brother or sister that wants the kingdom, right? Right. So don't get involved this summer, right? It's a lot going on, right? Let me get another precept. Let me see this precept. Look for this precept real quick. Damn, I just had it. Salakia. It's like I want to get this precept real quick. Bear with me. Right, it's going to be a lot going on. And you got to prepare yourself. Right? If you know you got a weakness for certain things, or certain places, stay away from those places, especially this summer. There's going to be a lot going down. Kind of found the precept. Right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 9, and verse 11. It says, envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end. Right? You got to understand, a lot of things that's going on, a lot of this stuff, it's a lot of sin, right? These are there's a lot of sinners out here, and they're just looking to do more sin. Right? It's gonna be a lot of weed smoke in the air, right? It's gonna a lot of smoke sessions. It's gonna be all these things. And remember, don't get involved. We cannot get involved. We gotta focus on the mission, right? And spread the word. Spread the word, to your fellow brothers and sisters in this truth. Tell them, don't get involved. Tell them, you might have to call them, be like, this summer, don't get involved. They might be like, what does that mean? And you got to tell them, don't get involved, right? It says, verse 12, delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in, but remember they shall not go unpunished unto their graves. So remember, you might be seeing something, they might be turning up. It's gonna be a lot of side shows out here, doing donuts in the middle of the street. A big old crowd. Everybody getting their cars, right? They swinging the whip, right? They burning the rubber on their tires, right? Slapping loud music, right? Eve bouncing out her car at the red light with no clothes on, jumping on top of the car, right? Shaking her behind while she slapping some Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. Right? It's gonna be a lot of lust. There's gonna be a lot of stuff going on. You have to remember that, we can't envy these things. You can't say, I want to be there. That looks so much fun. We can't delight in these things either. For everybody's gonna have to answer for the things that they've done in this life. Everybody's gonna have to answer for the things that they're gonna do this summer. Right? And we don't want to get involved. You got to say, I don't want no part in that. I don't want no part in that. And when you see that, you got to drive off. You got to drive off quick. Right? You got to drive off quick. Because it don't take long to get enticed. You might see Jake in the world. You might see Eve walk by. It's madness. No clothes on. The moment he sees her, from a snap of a finger, he can't stop looking at her. And his thoughts are just moving. Now he wants to walk up to her. Now he wants to talk to her. Hey, so you gotta spin off quick. You gotta take off quick, because it don't take long to get enticed. You know, a second turns into 20 seconds. And 20 seconds turns into 10 minutes. And 10 minutes turns into an hour. And now you went off. You know? They pull up at the red light. Hey, you can't be rolling your window down. Hey, don't be that brother. You see them shaking their behind at the red light, and you at the red light next to them, and you roll your window down talking about, hey, what's y'all nationality? You know how brothers do, man. Don't do that. Y'all believe in God? They ain't trying to hear that. They drunk, they probably high, right? And they ain't trying to hear that, right? Because now you said something to them. Now they might walk up to your car. You know, now they might walk up to your car and might be trying to touch you. You know, or they act like they want to hear what you got to say, but really they just lusting after you. Now you lusting and they lusting. You know, you could have just drove off, but you decided to talk. You know, so don't get involved. Hey, you could get involved by even just saying something. Don't say nothing. You keep it pushing. It's a time and place for everything. We're not saying don't spread the word, but it's a time and place for everything, right? You don't want to be at the damn strip club, and the brother say, "What you doing in there?" And you were saying, "Oh, I was trying to break down Genesis to them about Adam and Eve in the garden and the serpent." How does that sound? How does that sound? Sounds like something a kid will say. You know? You catch your son, you know, or your daughter in the refrigerator or digging in your purse. You say, what you looking for? And they talking about they looking for they color crowns. They in the refrigerator saying they're looking for they in the refrigerator late at night saying they was looking for their color crowns. The color crowns are not in the refrigerator. You know, I'm just giving an example. You know? But yeah, so don't get involved. You know? You gotta stand gotta be 10 toes every second, every minute. That 1 second you decide to get involved because you want to be seen. You know, hey, some people they wanna by saying something you could get involved. By you wanting to be seen, you can get involved. Hey, you don't need to roll your windows down when you see hella stuff going on outside just so people could see you. Cause now they saw you. Now they gonna get you involved. You know, you could get involved by even just wanting to be seen. Right? It's the book of Matthew chapter 24 and verse 44. It says, "Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh." Right? So, remember, look, be ready so you don't have to get ready. The Lord said, "Therefore be ye also ready." Be ready so you don't have to get ready. Right? Be ready so you don't have to get ready. Right? Be ready. Be vigilant. Right? Let's get that. Let me get that too. Let me get this. The definition of vigilant. Right? It says for vigilant. It says keeping careful watch for possible danger or difficulties. You see? It says wide awake. It says careful. It says ready. It literally says ready. All right, let me show this real quick. Vigilant. Keeping careful watch for possible danger or difficulties. It says, look, it says wide awake. Prudent. It says ready. It says prepared. See that? It says prepared. Right? So remember these things and meditate upon these things. And we shall all, even me, we shall all fare well, right? This is for me as well. We shall all fare well if we meditate and remember these things, and we don't get involved, and we stay wide awake, right? We stay on guard, we stay ready, we stay prudent, we stay circumspect, right? We stay vigilant, and we stay watchful and observant, and we shall fare well, right? So with that, so Lord willing, this video was edifying. I'm gonna close up giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem HaMashiach wa Malak Yahweh Shai. I pray all brothers and sisters have a mighty Sabbath, and Shalom.